She was just 17 when her uncle said, "Come to America. I'll change your life." But Imani had no idea what that promise would really cost her. This is the heartbreaking true story of Imani, a bright, beautiful girl from Jamaica, whose dream of a better life in Miami became a waking nightmare. If you've ever trusted the wrong person, or wondered how good girls get trapped in bad stories, keep watching. Imani was the light of her mother's life, and the quiet joy of her Jamaican hometown. Her skin glowed like polished bronze, and her eyes carried the softness of someone who saw beauty in everything. She wasn't just beautiful. She was deeply good, kind, curious, brave. And her twin brother, Malik? He was her other half. You could never mention one without the other. They were soul-deep close, the kind of bond that made strangers stop and smile. But their mother, Miss Loretta, had lived through her own pain. Years ago, she fell in love with a visiting teacher from Atlanta. His name was Kenneth, and he came to Jamaica to teach math through an international program. Loretta was just out of school, struggling with her final exams. Kenneth helped her study, but what began with numbers turned into whispered dreams under moonlight skies. They fell in love, deeply, quietly, but fate had other plans. When Kenneth left the island, he lost his phone, and with it, every way for Loretta to reach him. She tried, she prayed, but he never came back. And weeks later, she discovered she was carrying his children. Her parents were furious, deeply traditional, deeply ashamed. Loretta's education ended right there. Her future, rewritten in silence. She gave birth to twins, Imani and Malik, and faced the world alone. Loretta worked like the world was watching. Cleaning, selling, braiding, baking, whatever it took to feed her babies and shield them from shame. But through it all, one person always stood by her. Her younger brother, Uncle Charles. He had moved to Miami years earlier and built a new life for himself. Everyone in the family saw him as a success story. He sent money. He called often. He never forgot birthdays. When he came home to visit, he brought gifts and stories. Sneakers from America, glossy magazines, tales of cities that never slept. To the twins, Charles wasn't just their uncle, he was a dream, a future, a hero. And Loretta, she trusted him with everything. With her money, with her secrets, with her children. She never imagined the man she trusted most would be the one to break her daughter. Uncle Charles's promise came at a crossroads in their lives. Imani and Malik had just finished high school, no small feat in their part of Jamaica. They'd made it through despite everything. And that's when Charles stepped forward with a golden offer. "Let Imani come with me to Miami," he said one evening over the phone. "I'll help her apply to college. She's too bright to stay stuck here. Don't let her potential go to waste." It sounded like a miracle. Ticket out. A door to the future. Malik would go to Kingston to learn a trade, a practical path, a way to earn quickly and help the family. Imani, on the other hand, had a shot at something bigger. University, scholarships, America. Miss Loretta's heart was torn in two. She wanted her daughter to thrive. But the thought of letting her go, even to family, twisted something deep inside her. Still, she trusted Charles. She always had. And so, with a heavy heart and trembling hands, she packed her daughter's things, wrapped her in a long, tearful hug, and whispered, "Don't forget where you come from, baby. And don't let the world change your heart." The morning Imani left, the sun rose slow and soft over the hills. The breeze felt different that day, like the air knew things were about to change. She hugged Malik tightly at the bus terminal, holding on like the past depended on it. "Stay safe, sis," he said, forcing a grin. "Make us proud." "I'll call you the second I land," she whispered. "Promise." And with that, Imani boarded a flight to Miami, a city she had only ever seen in pictures. Her stomach fluttered with nerves, hope, and something she couldn't name. She looked out the window one last time, watching the island fade into the clouds. She had no idea that the man who opened his arms to welcome her was the same man she would one day pray to escape from. Imani's flight touched down in Miami just after sunset. The city sparkled beneath her like something out of a dream. Skyscrapers glinting, streets buzzing, cars weaving through neon-lit highways. She'd never seen anything like it. It was loud. It was fast. It was everything her quiet Jamaican hometown was not. And waiting at the airport, arms wide and smiling, was Uncle Charles. "Welcome to America, star girl," he said, pulling her into a hug. "Your new life starts now." They drove through neighborhoods that hummed with life, restaurants, honking taxis, music spilling from open windows. It was overwhelming, but exciting. Charles's house sat in a busy Miami suburb. Not big, but full of life. His wife, Monique, greeted Imani with open arms. "Look at you. You're even more beautiful in person," she beamed. "We've been counting down the days." Their 3 boys, TJ, Marcus, and Eli, rushed to meet her, loud and curious. They were younger than Imani but full of jokes and laughter. That first dinner felt like a celebration. Fried chicken, rice, cornbread, the scent of family. Imani smiled through it all, thankful. For the first time she felt like maybe, just maybe, she belonged. Adjusting to city life wasn't easy. The trains moved too fast. The crowds moved faster. Everyone had somewhere to be. But Imani tried her best to keep up. Each morning, she helped Monique with household chores. Laundry, dishes, watching the boys. In the afternoons, Charles took her to tour nearby colleges. He encouraged her, bought her notebooks, helped with applications. "You're going to do great things," he told her. "This city's lucky to have you." She believed him. She wanted to believe him. At night, she wrote long letters to Malik back in Kingston, describing the size of the buildings, the taste of bagels, the way the buses never waited for anyone. "It's hard," she wrote, "but I feel like I'm finally chasing something real." First, everything seemed fine. Imani was adjusting. Slowly, she was settling into life in Miami, helping with chores, studying for college, laughing at TJ's silly jokes. Charles, her uncle, still took her on campus visits, still bought her supplies, still promised a better life. But then, something shifted, started small. A hand that lingered a second too long on her shoulder. A strange look when she bent down to pick something up. A joke she didn't understand, but that made her feel watched. She told herself it was nothing, that she was imagining it. After all, this was Uncle Charles, the man who helped raise her, the man her mother trusted. But it didn't stop. Charles began checking on her constantly, asking where she went, who she spoke to, what time she got home. His tone grew sharp, cold, possessive. And then, one night, Imani woke up to the feeling of someone standing beside her bed. "Uncle Charles?" she whispered into the dark. "Sho," he said softly, like he was comforting a child. "I just wanted to check on you." He sat down beside her, then lay down next to her. Imani froze. She tried to move, to speak, but her body betrayed her. Her voice had vanished, trapped behind a fear she couldn't name. And then he touched her. The same hands that once brought her gifts, now brought her pain. The same voice that promised to protect her was now the voice that silenced her. That night, Uncle Charles defiled her. But it didn't stop there. It happened again, and again, night after night. Each time she heard his footsteps in the hallway, her heart would race in terror. She tried to act normal during the day, helping Monique, smiling for the boys, but inside she was shattering. Her studies fell apart. Her appetite vanished. The light in her eyes dimmed. Until one day, she couldn't take it anymore. She waited until the house was quiet, then approached Monique, Charles's wife. "Aunt Monique," she said softly, "I need to talk to you. It's serious." Monique gave her a curious look. "What is it, baby?" Imani took a breath, her whole body trembling. "It's Uncle Charles. He's been coming into my room at night." There was silence, long, heavy, crushing. Then Monique shook her head. No, Imani, that can't be. Charles would never do that. He loves you like his own daughter." Imani stood there, speechless, numb. And in that moment, the last bit of hope she had cracked. Imani was breaking. After Monique dismissed her plea, something inside her began to shut down. She tried, gently, carefully, to hint at her pain to a few neighbors. She told a cousin that she felt unsafe. She asked a church sister if some men go too far sometimes. But no one heard her. Or worse, they heard, and they didn't want to believe it. Uncle Charles was loved, admired, a role model. And she? Just a quiet girl from Jamaica who should be grateful she was even in America. So the silence continued. The footsteps returned. The nights blurred. And Imani's world shrank into a cage of fear she couldn't unlock. But somewhere deep inside her, a flicker refused to go out. She wouldn't die in that house. He had taken enough already. Her future wouldn't be one more thing. One afternoon, when the house was quiet and Charles was away at work, Imani slipped out with a bag on her shoulder and a plan in her heart. She didn't have much, no degree, no contacts, but she had desperation. And desperation can be powerful. She walked for hours across the city. Her shoes ached. Her stomach growled. But she didn't stop. She entered every storefront she could. Cafes, corner shops, even a dry cleaner. "Hi, I'm looking for work," she'd say, trying to smile. "I can do anything." Again and again the answer was no, until she pushed open the glass doors of a large office building, towering, sleek, cold, place she didn't belong. Still, she walked in. At the front desk sat a receptionist. Sharp eyes, tight bun, voice like ice. "Do you have a college degree?" the woman asked flatly. "No, ma'am," Imani said. "But I'm willing to learn. I can clean, file papers, take calls." The woman sighed. "We only hire graduates here." "I'm sorry." Imani turned to leave, shoulders slumped, tears burning behind her eyes. Then, a voice stopped her. "Excuse me, miss." She turned. A tall man stood behind her, well-dressed, kind-eyed, maybe in his late 40s. Something about his gaze softened the air around them. "You look like someone carrying too much," he said gently. "Can I help you?" Imani hesitated. For a moment she wanted to lie, to say she was fine. But the words broke free before she could stop them. She told him everything. The abuse, the fear, the nights, the silence, her need to escape. Her voice trembled. Her hands wouldn't stay still. But the man didn't interrupt. He just listened. And when she finally stopped talking, gasping back tears, he looked at her, long, quiet, and said, "What's your name?" "Imani." "Imani," he repeated softly, like it meant something. Then, slowly, his expression changed, like a memory had just stepped into the room. "You remind me so much of someone I used to know." Before she could reply, the receptionist cut in. "Mr. Carter, I'm sorry to interrupt. This young woman—" "That's enough," he said, raising a hand. "I'll take it from here." He looked at Imani again. "Come with me." She followed him down a quiet corridor into a large corner office, warm and filled with books and plaques. He motioned for her to sit. Then, slowly, he began asking questions. "Where exactly are you from in Jamaica?" She told him her town, the dirt roads, the church on the hill, even the mango tree near her old house. His curiosity deepened. His eyes never left her. "How old are you, Imani?" 21. He leaned back, silent, thinking. "Tell me about your family." Imani spoke of her twin brother, Malik, her mother, Miss Loretta. Then came the question that changed everything. "Your mother, was her last name Devon?" "Loretta Devon?" Imani's brows pulled together, her expression tightening with confusion. "Yes." "How do you know her?" Mr. Carter's face went pale. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Because I knew a Loretta. A long time ago. We were in love." And just like that, the pieces fell into place. He remembered everything. The island, the school, the nights under the stars, the goodbye he never meant to be permanent. And suddenly he realized this girl wasn't just a stranger. "Imani," he said, voice trembling. I think I'm your father." She blinked at him, stunned. Her breath caught in her throat. Mr. Carter leaned forward, eyes glassy with memory. "Your mother, Loretta Devon. I loved her. I never meant to disappear. When I was leaving Jamaica all those years ago, I lost my phone at the airport. Just like that, all our messages, her number, everything was gone. And back then, I didn't have the means to go back and find her. I was broke, trying to build my life from scratch in Atlanta. He swallowed hard. I didn't even know she was pregnant. If I had known, I swear to you, Amani, I would have come back. I would have done everything differently. Then his voice softened, cracked with awe. And the moment I saw you, I knew. You looked just like her. Just like Loretta the last time I saw her. The same eyes. Same calm fire. Silence filled the room. Amani sat frozen, staring at him, barely breathing. Mr. Carter reached across the desk and took her hand. Gently, reverently. His eyes filled with tears. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. But I promise you, this ends now. I'm going to make things right. And he did. He didn't hesitate. That same week, Mr. Kenneth Carter, once a rising math teacher, but now a self-made millionaire and the founder and CEO of the very company she had wandered into, called in every favor he had. He launched an investigation into Uncle Charles. He gave the police everything Amani had told him. Her words, her pain, her truth. And for the first time, someone listened. The system moved faster than anyone expected. Charles was arrested, charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse. The trial was hard. Every court date a wound reopened. But Amani wasn't alone anymore. Her father was there, every step of the way. Not long after, Mr. Kenneth Carter flew to Jamaica. He found Miss Loretta. He found Malik. And he brought them both to Miami. He had lost his wife to cancer years ago. He had no other children. Now, he was ready to rebuild what life had once taken from him. Family. The trial ended the way it needed to. Uncle Charles was found guilty and sentenced to a long prison term. The courtroom was heavy with silence when the verdict came down. But for Amani, it was a breath, a release, a chapter finally closing. But her journey was far from over. Healing is never quick, and trust isn't rebuilt in a day. But Mr. Carter, her father, was determined to do right by her. He didn't just offer words. He took action. He enrolled Amani and her twin brother Malik in one of the best universities in Florida. Tuition paid in full. Housing, books, food, everything covered. He encouraged them every step of the way, sitting front row at every milestone. And somewhere along the way, love found its way back home. Mr. Carter and Miss Loretta rekindled what they lost 20 years ago. This time, they married with their children by their side. If the story moved you even a little, then watch this next. Click here to see another powerful journey of healing and redemption. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who might need it. Thank you for watching. And remember, no matter how dark it gets, you are never truly alone.